Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really going deep, not just skimming the surface.
Yeah, we're plunging into, 15 unique income ideas?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these are the kinds of opportunities that, often get lost. They get drowned out by the usual make money online noise.
Totally. You've probably heard the standard suggestions like a million times. We're deliberately stepping away from those.
Yeah, we're exploring some more unexpected paths.
Forget the same old overhyped strategies. We're really focusing on genuinely fresh, creative approaches here.
And what's really interesting, I think, is that some of these need absolutely zero cash up front.
Right. While others, they might need a bit of your time, maybe a spark of creativity, or just using resources you already have in a smart way.
And just to be clear, we're not going to insult your intelligence with starting a drop shipping store. We know you know that one.
Definitely not. We're aiming for insights you likely haven't bumped into before.
So our mission for this deep dive, it's really to unearth income streams you've probably never even considered.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. First up, idea number 1. Renting out your backyard for camping or events.
Yeah, this one's fascinating because it's about how easily underutilized space can become a revenue generator.
Right. If you have any outdoor area, even if it feels small, it might have potential.
It's just about looking at your property with, fresh eyes.
And it really doesn't need to be huge, does it? Like acres of land?
Not at all. Think about someone maybe living in an apartment. They might just want a safe, private area to let their dog run off leash.
Ah, okay. So your fenced backyard could be exactly what they're looking for.
Exactly. And there are platforms like Sniff Spot specifically for that.
Sniff Spot, right. And you mentioned camping too.
Yeah, or maybe a couple wants, a more secluded camping experience than a crowded campground.
Okay. And HipCamp is a platform for that sort of thing.
HipCamp facilitates those kinds of bookings, yeah. Or you could even attract people just looking for a quiet spot for a picnic.
And local Facebook groups could work for that too, I guess.
Absolutely. Great for reaching that local audience.
And here's where you can sort of amplify the income, right? By adding value.
Exactly. Add simple amenities. Even something straightforward, like setting up a basic glamping tent or creating a little fire pit area.
Or like a nice picnic setup.
Yeah, exactly. Those things can significantly increase what you can charge per booking.
And here's what gets really interesting, I think. This isn't just a one-off payment.
No, not at all.
Once you've put in a bit of effort setting up your space, you essentially create potential for recurring income.
Right. Just by granting temporary access, it highlights the value of seeing existing assets in new ways.
Yeah, that part of your property that might have just been, upkeep cost.
It can be transformed into a pretty reliable source of income.
So let's talk numbers. What could this actually mean, realistically?
Well, depending on your location, obviously, and the kind of amenities you offer,
Sure.
a single night's rental could net you anywhere from, say, $50 to maybe $200.
Wow, okay. That's a pretty compelling return for space that might otherwise just be sitting there.
Definitely.
All right, let's pivot. Idea number 2. Hyper niche subscription boxes.
Yeah, so we all know the big ones, right? Like BarkBox for dogs, FabFitFun for beauty stuff.
Right, those cast a really wide net, but you're saying the opportunity is actually in going super specific.
Exactly. Focus on incredibly specific interests. Think about those really passionate hobbies or very particular groups.
Communities of enthusiasts who might be a bit underserved.
Precisely. What niches are out there that aren't getting catered to?
Okay, give us some concrete examples. Help us picture this.
Okay, well, consider a subscription box maybe called Mushroom Lovers Monthly.
Okay.
It could have rare dried mushrooms, foraging guides, maybe unique mushroom-themed recipes.
I like it. What else?
Or how about miniature painting gear for D&D players?
Oh, yeah? Delivering curated paints, special brushes, basing materials each month.
Exactly. Or you could go even more niche, like a vintage postcard collector's box.
Wow. Sourcing and sending out unique, interesting postcards. I get it now. It's about tapping into those smaller but incredibly dedicated communities.
Right. People in these niches often crave curated experiences that speak directly to their specific interest.
And they're probably willing to pay a bit more for that curated feel.
Often, yes. And the real appeal for you, the seller, is those recurring monthly fees. It creates predictable income.
That's the key, isn't it? Predictable revenue.
Precisely. And you don't actually need a massive subscriber base.
Right.
Even a focused group of, let's say, 100 subscribers paying $20 a month.
That's $2,000 a month. Solid.
Yeah, exactly. Predictable monthly revenue.
And presumably as you grow, you don't have to be packing every single box yourself.
No, definitely not. There are options for outsourcing fulfillment as the business scales up.
But the crucial thing, I imagine, is keeping that experience special.
Absolutely. It needs to be memorable, consistently high quality, and feel personal. That's what keeps niche subscribers engaged.
That personal touch is probably even more important in a hyper-niche market.
It really is. Your subscribers are likely deeply invested, so fostering a sense of community around the box is powerful for retention.
All right, fascinating stuff. Moving on to idea number 3, which this one really caught my eye. AI-generated art or stock images for sale.
Yeah, this is pretty mind-blowing for people who, like you said, maybe feel they aren't traditionally artistic.
My stick figures, thank you.
Ha! Right. But this really levels the playing field. Tools like DLE, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion,
I've heard of those.
they use AI to generate impressive, unique visuals just from text prompts you type in.
So you don't need years of art school.
Nope. You can produce really compelling images without that background.
Okay, so let's say I use one of these tools, I make some cool art. How do I actually make money from it?
Well, there are several ways. You could sell digital prints directly, maybe on a platform like Etsy.
Okay, direct to consumer.
Or you could upload your images to stock photo sites. Think Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, Dreamstime.
Ah, so businesses and bloggers can license them.
Exactly. Bloggers, social media folks, YouTubers, they always need visuals.
Constantly.
And you can get even more creative. You could bundle your AI art into, say, printable posters.
Or digital wallpapers.
Yeah.
Coloring books.
Yes, exactly. Create downloadable coloring books people print themselves. That sets up potential passive income from those digital products.
That's clever.
The core idea is just that there's a constant demand for visuals, and these AI tools make it accessible for almost anyone to meet that demand.
That's pretty wild to think about. Okay, let's shift gears. Idea number 4. Designing credible board games or activities.
Yeah, this feels like a really unique twist on the whole digital download thing.
How so?
Well, it takes that core concept, create once, sell many times, but adds this engaging, playful element.
So instead of just worksheets, you're making actual entertainment or educational tools.
Exactly, things people can interact with.
So what kind of printable games are we talking about here? Give me some examples.
Okay, think about creating printable trivia card decks for game nights. Or designing printable escape room kits people can set up and play at home.
Ooh, I like that.
Or maybe developing educational games for kids that parents or teachers can just print and use. The possibilities are pretty broad.
And who's the main audience for these?
Primarily, I'd say parents looking for engaging, maybe off-screen activities for their kids.
Makes sense.
Teachers needing easy-to-access classroom resources, and even event organizers looking for affordable, customizable entertainment.
Okay, and what tools would someone need to actually make these? Is it complicated?
Not necessarily. User-friendly platforms like Canva are excellent for this. They have tons of templates and elements.
Right.
For more complex stuff, maybe Adobe Illustrator, but Canva is a great starting point. The key is making them fun, engaging, and visually appealing.
And then you sell them as what, PDFs?
Yeah, usually a PDF file or maybe a bundle of printable files.
Right.
Customers buy it, print it, and play. No inventory for you, no shipping.
And the potential for repeat sales of the same design. It sounds like tapping into seasons or events could be smart here too.
Oh, absolutely. Think about a Halloween party game or Christmas trivia. Those seasonal niches can drive a lot of sales during peak times.
Smart. Okay, let's dive into idea number 5, which sounds really cool. Virtual escape room experiences.
Yeah, the in-person ones are super popular, right?
Totally. So how does that work online?
Well, imagine taking those core elements, the story, the puzzles, the immersive feel, and bringing it all to life through something like Zoom.
Good.
This really took off during the pandemic, obviously, as a way for people to connect remotely, but the appeals definitely stuck around.
So from the player's side, how does it work? Are they just watching a screen?
Usually they join a video call and a game master guides them through the story. They might see virtual rooms, interact with the digital clues shown via screen sharing or online tools.
And they work together as a team?
Yeah, collaborate with their team to solve the puzzles.
Interesting. And who's this typically aimed at?
It's surprisingly versatile. Remote teams love it for virtual team building.
I can see that.
Families or friends who live far apart use it for shared fun. Even educators use it for interactive problem solving with students.
Okay. And how could someone actually offer this? Are they always live?
You could offer live hosted sessions, yeah, where you actively guide the group in real time.
Okay, providing clues, managing the game flow.
Exactly. Or you could create downloadable versions. Groups play at their own pace using maybe a dedicated platform or just digital documents and online tools.
That sounds like a really interesting mix of, like, theater, puzzle design, and storytelling.
It totally is. If you're creative and enjoy games, it seems like a perfect fit.
And what's the earning potential look like?
Well, depending on the complexity, production value, group size, hosts can often charge anywhere from, say, $200 to maybe $500 per session.
Per group session, wow.
Yeah. And the big advantage, once you create the game, you can reuse it again and again.
That's fantastic leverage. Great idea. Okay, moving on to idea number 6. Voiceover work for audiobooks or YouTube channels.
Right. So if you have a clear, engaging voice and, a reasonably good microphone.
Which are more accessible now than ever.
Exactly. Those can be really valuable assets. The demand for voiceovers is constantly growing. Audiobooks, podcasts, online courses, YouTube videos.
Everywhere. So if someone's interested, what are the first steps? How do you even start?
Okay, the crucial first step is creating a demo reel. Needs to sound professional.
Showcasing your range, different styles.
Exactly. Narration, character voices, commercial reads, whatever you can do. Then you sign up on freelance platforms, Fiverr, voices.com.
Are there specific ones for audiobooks?
Yeah, ACX is a big one, connects authors and narrators, but also just directly reach out to people.
Like YouTubers or course creators?
Yeah, indie game developers, online course creators. Offer your services directly.
Now, do you need that classic deep radio voice to succeed?
Not necessarily. Not at all. While that polished sound is valued sometimes,
Yeah.
many clients actually want voices that sound natural, relatable, authentic, trustworthy.
Okay, that's encouraging. Are there specific niches worth focusing on?
Oh yeah, specializing can definitely help you stand out. Maybe focus on narrating children's audiobooks.
Or meditation scripts? Explainer videos?
Exactly. Or even technical or medical narration, if you have that background.
And what about the money side? What kind of earnings are possible?
Well, as you gain experience, build a portfolio, get a good reputation,
Right.
you could realistically charge $100 or more per finished hour of audio. Many pros build full-time careers doing this.
That's really encouraging. Okay, idea number 7. Becoming a micro-influencer for local or niche brands.
Right. And the word influencer often makes people think millions of followers, right?
Totally. But you're suggesting something different.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. You don't need a massive audience to be valuable to brands.
Really?
Yeah, especially smaller local brands or brands in very specific niches. They're actively seeking creators with smaller but more engaged, targeted communities.
Because those micro-influencers often have a more authentic connection.
Exactly, more trust with their followers.
So if I have, say, a few hundred followers who really care about my passion for, sustainable living in my town.
Absolutely. Local zero-waste shops, farmers market vendors, eco-friendly startups nearby.
Community gardens?
Yeah, they're often looking for authentic voices in their target demographic to help promote what they do.
And what kind of content would you create? Just ads?
No, it's more about content that feels genuine to your audience, but naturally features the brand.
Like product reviews?
Yeah.
Lifestyle posts showing how you use it?
Exactly, maybe behind-the-scenes stuff. Or just organically mentioning the brand in your regular content.
And what kind of compensation can someone expect? Is it just free stuff?
Sometimes it starts there, but payment can vary a lot. Depends on your audience size, engagement, the niche, the scope of work.
Sure.
But it's not uncommon for micro-influencers to earn, say, $50 to $500 per post, sometimes more for video or longer partnerships.
That sounds like a great way to leverage even a smaller, dedicated following, especially on platforms like Instagram or TikTok.
Exactly. Where that authenticity and trust really matter to the audience. It's about connection quality, not just follower count.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, let's move to idea number 8. Amazon KDP for things other than long novels, like short stories, journals, workbooks.
Yeah, another common misconception. People think Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, is just for novelists.
Right.
But it's incredibly versatile. You can publish a huge variety of content way beyond traditional books.
Okay, so what are some examples of these other profitable formats?
Think about publishing short fiction or guided journals for mindfulness, gratitude, goal setting.
Coloring books, too, for adults or kids.
Definitely. Themed coloring books are huge. puzzle books, Sudoku, word searches, even practical daily planners for specific needs or jobs.
That's a much wider range than I realized. How does the publishing process work for these?
Well, you create your content, format it to Amazon's guidelines. For visual stuff like journals or coloring books, tools like Canva are super helpful for layout.
Canva again, okay.
Yeah, it's great for making professional-looking pages. Then you need an appealing cover, upload your files to KDP, set your price.
And Amazon handles the printing and shipping.
Exactly. It's print on demand. A customer orders, Amazon prints and ships it directly. No inventory hassle for you.
And you get a royalty on each sale.
Precisely.
Are there any particular niches within these shorter formats that do really well on KDP?
Yeah, definitely. Things like anxiety journals, specifically for teenagers.
Okay.
Or motivational planners, maybe tailored for entrepreneurs. Themed coloring books related to popular hobbies or fandoms often do well too.
So finding that very specific need or interest is key.
Exactly.
All right, let's explore idea number 9. Teaching a skill with micro courses. Now, I think a lot of people hesitate here, feeling like they aren't an expert.
That's such a common feeling, but the key thing to remember is you don't need to be the world's foremost authority.
Right.
You just need to know more about a specific area than someone who's a complete beginner. That's enough to provide value.
That's a really helpful way to think about it.
Yep.
So what are some examples of skills that fit this micro course format?
Think practical focused skills people want to learn quickly, like basic budget meal planning for busy people, or using Canva, there it is again, to create professional resumes.
Using ChatGPT for content creation, Excel Basic.
Exactly, things like that. Fundamentals that solve a specific problem.
And what's the typical format? How long are these usually?
Generally, they're designed to be pretty focused, pretty concise, often maybe 30 to 60 minutes total length.
Okay. Short video lessons, downloadable guides.
Yeah, it could be short videos, step-by-step guides, checklists, templates, or a mix.
And where do you sell these? What platforms work well?
Platforms like Teachable and Gumroad are built specifically for selling digital products and courses.
Right.
Even versatile tools like Notion can be used creatively to structure and sell digital content, too.
And the big appeal here is that create once, sell many times model, isn't it?
That's the magic of digital products. You invest the time up front to create the micro course.
And then it can keep generating income.
Yeah, potentially on an ongoing basis with minimal extra effort.
Definitely appealing. Okay, idea number 10 is quite different, maybe a bit unexpected. Offering remote notary services or online legal witnessing.
Yeah, this one really taps into a modern need. Remote online notarization, or RON, has become legal in many places.
So it's a convenient alternative to finding a notary in person.
Absolutely. Much more efficient sometimes.
So what do you need to get started? Is it complex?
Generally, you'll need to get a specific certification or authorization in your state or region for RON.
Okay, some training involved.
Yeah, usually a short certification. And you'll need a good, secure webcam setup and reliable internet for the video sessions and identity checks.
And what specific services can a remote notary provide online?
The main thing is online document notarization, verifying identity, witnessing an electronic signature via a secure platform.
For lots of different legal or financial documents.
Exactly. And in some places, you can also do remote online witnessing for things like wills.
Who are the typical clients for this? Who benefits most?
Well, it's great for people in rural areas, maybe far from a traditional notary.
Sure.
Also, individuals with mobility issues or just busy professionals who need something notarized quickly without an in-person appointment.
It sounds like a business model with good flexibility, too. Setting your own hours.
Absolutely. You can often set your own schedule, charge per session, and potentially build recurring business with attorneys, real estate agents, banks.
People who need notary services frequently.
Interesting.
Okay, let's pivot to something more social, maybe more fun. Idea 11, hosting paid virtual trivia nights.
Yeah, trivia is always popular, right?
Yeah.
And taking it online just removes the physical limits.
Wider audience reach.
Exactly, no venue capacity issues.
So who would pay for a virtual trivia night?
It can be pretty diverse. Corporate teams doing virtual team building is a big one.
Yeah, I bet.
Groups of friends or family celebrating birthdays or milestones remotely. School groups doing fundraisers.
Or just individuals who love trivia and want a fun online social thing.
Totally.
That's a really broad range.
Yeah.
How do you make these engaging enough that people will pay?
Theme nights are huge. Focus on 80s music, a specific movie franchise, history, whatever.
Makes it more special.
Definitely. And using interactive features on Zoom helps break out rooms for teams, polls for answers.
And having a good host matters, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. An enthusiastic, entertaining host makes all the difference, creates the atmosphere.
So how do you charge? Per team? Per person?
You could do either charge a fee per team or a per person fee. And you might be surprised, people are often happy to pay, maybe $10 to $20 each.
To join a well-run, fun virtual event from home.
Exactly. Comfort, safety, entertainment.
Sounds like a great way to use your knowledge and hosting skills. Okay, idea 12. Starting a language conversation buddy business.
Yeah, this is interesting because it doesn't necessarily require formal teaching qualifications.
Right. So you don't need to be a certified teacher.
Not for this role. While teachers are needed, a lot of language learners just need practice. Natural conversation practice with a fluent speaker.
That's where the conversation buddy comes in.
Exactly. Providing immense value just by talking.
So if I'm a native English speaker, I could get paid just to chat with someone learning English.
Pretty much. Your role isn't really teaching grammar rules, it's being a friendly partner.
Helping them improve fluency, pronunciation, maybe pick up vocabulary naturally.
Yeah, and build confidence using language in real situations.
Are there platforms for this? Where do you find learners?
Yeah, several online platforms connect learners and partners. Reply, Tandem, that one also does language exchange. Italki is another big one.
Or you can just market yourself independently. Social media.
Definitely, or word of mouth in language learning groups.
This seems particularly good for, digital nomads or expats.
Absolutely. If you're fluent in a language, but maybe don't have teaching certs, it's flexible, accessible income. Connects you with people globally, too.
Cool idea. Okay, idea 13 is one I genuinely never thought of. Selling B-roll footage or background loops.
Right. It sounds maybe a bit obscure, but there's real demand.
Explain B-roll first. What is that exactly?
Sure. B-roll is basically supplementary video footage. It's used in documentaries, vlogs, news, whatever, to add visual context, interest, or just smooth over edits between main shots.
Okay. And background loops.
Those are short clicks designed to play seamlessly over and over. Think backgrounds for meditation videos, ambient music channels, live stream backdrops.
And who's buying this stuff? Where's the demand?
Primarily YouTubers, online marketers, small businesses making video ads. Anyone creating video content who needs quality generic visuals but maybe can't film everything themselves.
Okay. And what kind of footage are we talking about? Does it need to be amazing?
Surprisingly simple stuff can be valuable, like filming people walking in a park, city street shots, pouring coffee.
Waves on a beach, leaves blowing.
Exactly. Even seemingly mundane stuff can be useful filler footage. You can often shoot decent clips just with a smartphone.
Really? Okay, and where do you sell it?
There are stock video marketplaces online. Pond5, ArtGrid, Storyblocks are some big ones.
So you upload your clips, set a price.
Or let the platform set it, yeah. Then you earn a commission each time someone licenses your footage.
So this is another potential passive income stream, right, as your library grows?
Exactly. Each clip could potentially sell dozens, even hundreds of times over the long run. It adds up. And those simple looping backgrounds are surprisingly popular for creating mood.
That's a really accessible way to monetize your surroundings. Okay, number 14. Offering virtual interior styling services.
Yeah, with so many people focused on their homes lately, this makes a ton of sense.
People want decorating help, but maybe can't afford a full-service designer.
Exactly. Or they just want something more convenient. Virtual styling offers a more affordable, accessible alternative.
So what specific services does a virtual stylist offer remotely?
Could be creating digital mood boards to help clients visualize a concept.
Okay, I've seen those.
Developing furniture layout mock-ups based on the client's floor plan. Giving personalized recommendations for furniture, decor within their budget and style.
Even helping plan the budget itself.
Yeah, assisting with creating a budget for the project.
What tools do you need for this? Fancy software?
Again, user-friendly tools work well. Canva, Figma, even PowerPoint can be used for mood boards and basic layouts.
So it's more about having a good eye for design.
Yeah, a good eye, understanding design principles, and being able to communicate your ideas clearly digitally.
It sounds like clients often just need that professional guidance, help visualizing, making decisions.
Precisely. It's often about providing that expert eye and a clear visual direction so they feel confident.
And how do you get clients?
Starting an Instagram page, showing your design style, inspiration, examples of virtual work, that's a really effective way to attract clients visually.
Absolutely. A visual portfolio is key there. Okay, our final unique idea, number 15. Venturing into the world of play-to-earn games and virtual economies.
Yeah, this is a space that's definitely generating a lot of buzz, and it's a really interesting, evolving frontier.
So the basic idea is earning actual money by playing games.
Essentially, yeah. These games often use blockchain tech, letting players earn cryptocurrencies or NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Which represent ownership of unique digital items in the game.
Exactly. Things you can potentially sell or trade.
Can you give some examples of these games?
Sure. Games like Gods Unchained, that's a digital card game. Zed Run Virtual Horse Racing. Illuvium, an upcoming RPG.
And players earn tokens or assets they can trade.
Right. Tradable crypto tokens or valuable in-game assets sold on exchanges or maybe within the game's own marketplace.
I've also heard about virtual real estate in these metaverses.
Yeah, platforms like Decentraland or the Sandbox are virtual worlds where you can buy, sell, develop virtual land represented as NFTs.
And the value of that land can go up or down.
Definitely. Based on location in the virtual world, traffic, what's built on it.
Okay, this all sounds very cutting edge, maybe lucrative, but also risky.
That is critically important to emphasize, yes. This whole space, play to earn, virtual economies, it's highly volatile right now.
So values can swing wildly.
Hugely. Tokens, NFTs, their value can change dramatically, quickly. It is absolutely essential to do thorough research before putting any significant time or money in.
Okay, so caution is key.
Massive caution. Understand the risks. Only invest what you can genuinely afford to lose. That's the golden rule here.
So while it's an exciting potential way for gamers to monetize a hobby,
it comes with real risks and needs serious due diligence. It's evolving fast, requires understanding the tech, and a realistic view of rewards versus risks.
Got it. Well, that was quite the journey. 15 really diverse, often overlooked income ideas.
Yeah, from using your backyard in a new way to the complexities of virtual economies, it shows there's a huge landscape of opportunity beyond the usual stuff.
For me, the big takeaway is just that there isn't one single right way to earn extra income. Is there?
Not at all. It's really about finding what resonates with your lifestyle, your creativity, your curiosity.
Taking that time to discover what aligns with you personally.
Exactly. And the best approach is often just to start small. Pick an idea that intrigues you. Test it out without a huge commitment.
Learn as you go. Let it grow organically.
Precisely. Be open to learning. Adapt. Let it develop over time.
So as you're thinking about these 15 ideas we just covered, maybe consider how your own skills, your hobbies, even just everyday passions.
Yeah, how could they potentially be adapted into one of these more unconventional streams?
Which idea really sparked something for you? And maybe what's just one small, actionable step you could take today or this week?
Just to explore it a tiny bit further.